Hey everyone, I would like to do the reading habits tag. I got tagged by German booktubers, and when I was recording this video in German, I had the idea that I would also like to provide the answers on my English channel, so here we go. First question, do you have a certain place at home for reading? I'm reading mostly in my bed, sometimes on my couch or on the floor. You know, I'm having a blanket there and then I'm lying on my belly and reading like this with a pillow under my chest. Second question, bookmark or a random piece of paper. I have quite a few bookmarks and I also prefer using them, and at this moment I can also tell you that these reading threads, they are sometimes, you know, attached to the book, that I rarely use them. So yes, I'm preferring bookmarks. When I'm really not having anything around me, then I'm just using a piece of paper, and I can tell you that I don't make dog ears into the pages, and I can give you a little fun fact. In German it's called Eselsohr, which means donkey ear. So no, I'm not making dog ears, but sometimes when I buy second-hand books and I see that the person before me used dog ears to mark where the person is right now, then I actually do not mind that at all, but I'm using bookmarks. Third question, can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a chapter or a certain amount of pages? When I am so tired that I'm really falling nearly asleep, then I just stop wherever I am. I don't care if I'm in the middle of a chapter. The next day when I continue reading, I read maybe a few of the previous sentences to relocate myself and know where I am. But of course I'm using chapters if it's working out, you know, as nice breakers and like checkpoints. But no, I'm not torturing myself till the end of the chapter. If I don't want any more, then I just close the book where I am right now. 4. Do you eat or drink while reading? I'm always having a glass of water next to me, sometimes a hot beverage like a tea or a coffee. I actually don't eat while reading, like a proper meal. Not at all. Like I don't read while on the lunch table or something. But when I really want to get a snack, then I do this in between reading breaks, and then I'm going to wash my hands anyways. But yeah, so the standard thing is a glass of water. Fifth question, multitasking, music or TV while reading? No, I prefer not to. Like, I never have the TV running in the background like that I need that, or that I really like that like this. Sometimes, you know, when I actually wanted to read, but then I noticed, oh, there is some certain live stream going on I actually would like to watch, then I try, but it's really just in emergency cases. I actually prefer when it's silent, when I'm reading, and when I'm listening to music, not with vocals or something. The only exceptions from time to time when I want to have a nice atmospheric situation whatsoever, then I like instrumental music, so this typical soundtracky style of music. I love listening to Adrian von Ziegler. He's a Swiss composer. I can link you his YouTube channel in my info box. He has, for example, a 1 hour of atmospheric music, and it's like with rain and thunder and some little accords. Oh, I do like to listen to that, but in general I usually read with no TV or music around me, and preferably no noise. 6. One book at a time or several at once. Yeah, I'm a parallel reader. Either it's genre-wise or it is that I'm having one ebook and one paperback and maybe even one audiobook. So usually I'm having 2 to 3 books parallel, and then I can decide what is fitting for the situation right now. But when it's getting too much, like with 4 books, I try to come to an end with one of the books so I can reduce it again. But 2 or 3 is standard. 7. Reading at home or everywhere. Usually I prefer reading at home, like even if I'm, for example, visit on my parents' place, or when I'm in a hotel or whatever, then like in the bed or something. Everywhere, well, if it's quiet, like if there is not a lot of chatting or whatever going on, then I like to read in a bus or train or something like this. Or when I have to wait, I'm always having an ebook with me, so it can be that I'm reading a few pages, you know, to overbridge some time somewhere, but in general I prefer reading at home. Question 8. Reading aloud or silent in your head? Well, I actually read silent just for myself in my head. But it can be that I'm reading a few lines out loud. You know, I try to emphasize certain things really nice, like I'm a reader, like I'm giving a reading session. Or it even happens that sometimes like 4 or 5 lines I'm singing and I try to get them in a nice rhythm, and then I shift again into silently reading. I don't know. Does anyone else do that? Please let me know. Question 9. Do you read ahead or even skip pages? No, I don't do that. I actually just had an experiment because a few weeks ago I was reading a book I was not interested in. It did not get me hooked. And there I was even trying. I was like, yeah, I want to know what the ending is like. So I actually skipped through the pages, but then I noticed it's not for me. I don't feel good when I'm doing that. And I even went back and read it properly. So I even had an experiment, and I noticed, no, I really read from page to page. I read sentence by sentence. I'm a pretty slow reader in general. No, but I read properly, and I don't scan or skip stuff or certain scenes. No. 10. Breaking the spine or keeping it like new. I'm having a little game going on, like when I get second-hand books and they already have a broken spine, then I do not mind. I actually find it really handy because then I also don't have to take care anymore and can read it really comfy. But when I get a book new, then yes, I also try to not break the spine. And this is why I like this floppy stuff, you know, these books which are kind of falling open, so you can really read them comfortable and you don't have to take care that much about that. If it's happening, it's not the end of the world, but yeah, I also prefer not having a broken spine. And I also talked with bookstagram, book blogger, booktuber, like normal, average people who sometimes read novels, and I also ask them, hey, how do you feel about broken spines? And they say, well, I also prefer, like, I'm not extra trying to not break the spine, I'm just reading the book normally, I do not mind it, but if I can choose, I also prefer a spine that looks like new. So it is normally that people find it aesthetically nicer that the spine is not broken, and I'm there also like this. So I try, but if it is, I do not mind. But there are people who, when they start a book, the first thing they're doing is, you know, they open and they really push it down flat, and they open a bit later, push it flat, open, like they really, really bend it, and then they start reading, and I'm not doing that. At least. Question 11. Do you write in your books? No, I don't write in my books, but I actually would like to. But in the end, I'm not having a very nice handwriting, so it looks so crooked and it doesn't look really nice then when I look at it. And I'm also forgetting it. Like when I'm reading something, I'm too lazy, or because I'm writing really fast, I then write it into a external notebook or something. But I would not mind. I actually would like to be able to write in books, but I'm ending up not doing it. And the last question is who I want to tag, and I would like to watch this tag at certain channels, and they are Heart Full of Books, possibly Literate, Bitten by a Radioactive Book, and BookGeekMovieFreak. Yeah, I would like to see this video on their channel, but if you don't want to do it or whatever, then feel free, like I do not mind. I'm not sad or angry or broken if you end up not doing it. So that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and have a good one. Goodbye.